Oh, Benjamin Sesko. Oh, Benjamin Sesko. Oh, Benjamin Sesko. Oh, Benjamin Sesko. Get in there, my son. What's going on, everybody? Welcome aboard to the show. We are here today with the latest Manchester United news and goings-on. Thank you for joining aboard the Bacon Express today. Hope you're all well. Get in there, you legends. We've got lots to get into. Do us a favour at the start of this stream. Smash that like button. Hit the thumbs up. Twat the likes. You know it makes sense. Also, please do share us around if you can on social media, wherever you can. That'd be amazing. And get yourself in there raw and say hello in the live chat, such as Berber, Robert and Saya, Andre Johansson, Muddy, Predator, Daz Salford, Josh Lee, Paul S. Lad, get in there. Yes, mate, how's it going? Andre, Superstar, Beats Guy, we've actually bid. We've actually bid. Let's get stuck into it. Thank you, everyone who's in the live chat. Yes, do us a favour, hit the likes, all that stuff. Get yourself subscribed if you're new. Get in there, my son. Come on, United. Finally, we're actually doing something here in this window again, at least after getting Mbeumo and Cunha done, which took all summer long pretty much. Now we are looking to go and sign that number 9, that new striker for the long term. Whether or not you want Watkins, Mateta, Visser, Sesko, we can all agree that we need a number 9. And if this is who Amorim wants to go and get, then I'm very much behind this deal. Plus, Sesko does look a good young player. It's just that obviously he's not proven in the Premier League, which is why I have some reservations. But long term, in a couple of years' time, this guy could be one of the best forwards in the world. So we're talking about a player with bags of potential, and you know he's going to be way better than Rasmus Hojlund as well. So United have bid for this man. We've actually sent an official bid now. Oh no, Kate Cadet. I'm in the middle of doing a news show here, mate. Breaking news, you know what I mean? You reckon Trevor McDonald has to deal with this shit? You know what I mean? What's he sent me here, bro? Let's have a look. Look what I've made. It's Sesko and Luke Shaw having a pie together at Old Trafford. Okay, then. They're enjoying a big double-sized Frey Bentos tin. Mate, listen, that's great news. That's great news. Yes, well, hopefully we can actually see that image in real life soon if Man United can complete this deal. Now, please don't ever send me a message on Telegram again. Thank you. Yes, nice one. Well, let's hope he's not on the Luke Shaw diet if he comes to Man United. No, we need him in fine fettle. Although, to be fair to Luke, he's looking decent at the moment. Anyway, enough of that absolute nonsense and Kate Cadet derailing the show there. Let's talk about the latest updates. So we have an update. Originally, it's from Bild in Germany, who are reporting breaking news. This is about half an hour or so ago that Man United have submitted an offer of £73.9 million for Benjamin Sesko. Oh, Benjamin Sesko. Oh, Benjamin Sesko. Right, which means that Man United surely have got at least a green light from this guy that he wants to come and join Manchester United, right? Because we know Newcastle have already bid twice. In fact, Newcastle bid again for a second time yesterday. This was from Fab last night that just said that Newcastle have sent an official bid to Leipzig for Benjamin Sesko worth a €90 million package, which as far as I can work out is about £78 million. So a few million more than what United are reportedly offering now. But obviously the structure of the deal means something as well. Plus it's on what the player actually wants. €80 million plus €10 million add-ons on the table from Newcastle. No decision yet from the player. This was last night though. Man United confirmed again to Leipzig that they will bid if Sesko picks them. Okay, so what does that mean then? It seems like Sesko must have picked us then. So we were waiting for Sesko, waiting for his decision. Now the offer has been submitted, confirmed by the likes of David Ornstein just a short while ago, suggesting, or not suggesting, but saying that Manchester United make an offer to RB Leipzig for Benjamin Sesko. The proposal is slightly less, obviously, as we were talking about the Newcastle's here, it seems. This is our opening offer. Proposal of €75 million plus €10 million reflects Man United's valuation. So this is huge money, guys. Big, big money. I'm surprised we've even got this amount of money really to spend. But apparently we do, which is great. Obviously, we've got players to sell and recoup money. So this is a strong offer. And like I've said, structurally, it also depends on sort of what Newcastle's offer is. We know it's 75 plus 10 for Man United, and we know that it's 80 plus 10 for Newcastle. But as I say, there could be some performance-related add-ons, things like that are more achievable with Man United's offer. Who knows? So I wouldn't suggest there's too much problem there that we're a few million less than Newcastle. I don't think that is what that's all about. And as we've mentioned, Leipzig Leipzig are interested in dealing with whoever they can get the most money from. So there was reports coming out that perhaps Leipzig are just looking to, they don't even want Sesko to choose a team yet because they wanted a bidding war. Well, the bids have come in now. Newcastle have submitted their bid. Manchester United have submitted their bid. And what does that mean, really, guys? Well, let's be honest. If you're Benjamin Sesko, who are you choosing to go and play for right now? If they're both offering you the same amount of money, say, which might not even be the case, we might be offering them a bit more, who knows? But let's say they're both offering the same amount of money. Who do you want to go and play for? Do you want to go and play for a team like Manchester United with the history and tradition of actually winning things, Premier Leagues, Champions Leagues, the lot, and even in our quiet years of being absolutely gash, we still managed to pick up a few trophies, even over the last few seasons, get to European finals and all the rest of it, yeah? When Newcastle United win a League Cup, they celebrate like they've won the frigging World Cup, these melts, don't they? Goodness me. Mickey Mouse Cup, League Cup, and they're happy for another 70 years, these melts. Don't even think about it, Benjamin, I'm telling you now. You don't want to go there, mate. You don't want to go there, mate. It's all full of smog. It's smoggy, it's, grey. You don't want to go there, mate. Trust me. Yeah, no. You want to come to Manchester United, mate. That's what you want to do, definitely. Don't want to be going to play for Newcastle and play for a team that, let's face it, they don't win anything in terms of a long-term vision. If you've got any bottle about you and ambition, who do you want to play for? Man United or Newcastle? Come on. Newcastle are in a good position right now, sure. I like Eddie Howe. He's a great coach. They've got a good set of players. But look at the Isaac situation. Look at Isaac. Does Isaac want to stick around at smoggy Newcastle? Is that where he wants to stay for the rest of his career? No. It's a stepping stone for bigger things. Newcastle, let's face it, they're just not as big of a club. How many Premier League titles you won, mate? How many Champions League titles you won? You know what I mean? It's like, obviously, they're right now, the only thing that they've got more than us is that they're in a more stable position and they've got, obviously, good owners. They've got backing, at least, in terms of the ownership. And they have European football. That's really all that they can offer more than Manchester United. But that's for one season. If Man United play their cards right and have a good season, next season we'll be back in Europe. Sesko's still going to be a very young man. I personally would go to Manchester United if I was Benjamin Sesko right now. I feel like it's an easy decision. Plus, we've sort of heard that maybe United would only bid unless we actually got the decision from Benjamin Sesko to say that he wants to come and join Manchester United anyway. But let's have a little vote in the chat, guys. If you're Benjamin Sesko right now and you've got the two options on the table, struggling Man United who finished 15th but with great history and massive potential, or stable Newcastle with a bit of European football, but who knows what's going to be coming off them in a couple of years' time. We've seen this all before with Newcastle. I remember the days when, they've assembled a great squad under Keegan and they've bought in Alan Shearer for 15 million and they've got a really great squad. They've got David Ginola and all these sorts of players or whatever, and they've got a very good team and they were up there challenging and they still managed to bottle with 10-point lead, mate. I would love it. If we beat them to Sesko's signature, because I feel like he would actually be a good long-term player for us. I still think there's better players like Watkins right now, maybe, who could come in and do a job for us for the season right now. But what about in 3 or 4 years' time when Sesko's just hotting up and getting into his prime? Well, Watkins will be walking around with a frigging cane. So he won't be able to do the business for us in 3 or 4 years' time. So Sesko's a great long-term signing, as long as he turns out to be a great player, obviously, because that is still uncertain. He looks good, but so did Rasmus Hojlund before he came over from Italy. It is a different league, the Premier League, so it's going to take obviously some adaptation for him. Maybe there will be a time where he has to adapt. Let's hope he can just hit the ground running and smash up fools galore. Mate, big up so much to Paul S for the $9.99 super chat, you legend. Let's get some mad love in there for him, please, guys. Thank you very much indeed there for the super chat, lad. I appreciate that very much. By the way, if you're just getting in the stream, keep hitting those likes. We need a massive like spike. Help us spread out the word there across YouTube's algorithm. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, share it around. That'd be immense. And get yourself involved. We obviously do get in and out the chat throughout, but we're going to have a Q&A at the end, a proper Q&A as well. Exactly, Tommy Boyle. He says Sesko has obviously been waiting for us to bid because he wants to come to us rather than going to the Toon. No way he's going up there over us. Why would you go up to Newcastle over us right now? I don't get it either, mate, I'm with you. I don't think any player in their right mind is choosing Newcastle over United. United's just too much of a huge opportunity. Yes, they are. They're not even a sleeping giant. They're a comatose giant. Right now, we're not sleeping because that would imply you could wake up any moment. No, we are in a coma as a football club. I hate to put a morbid spin on it, but it's true. we are in a coma as a football club. We need to obviously come out of it, and it's going to take time. It really is. But still, if you've got that opportunity in front of you in a couple of years' time, when you do potentially wake up out of the coma, you're in a fantastic situation, aren't you, with one of the biggest clubs in the history of the game. Also, like, if you think about the support around the world, I mean, just the brand opportunities and everything, you do have to think about that for these players these days. They're all interested in that, aren't they? They're all interested in the Instagram followers and all that shite. But, you know, Man United's obviously a huge global football club. Newcastle United's got a big support, big following, and they've got very loyal, big fan base, especially locally, which, you know, fair play to them, but they can't compete with Manchester United. And then also, I just want to talk about how attractive it would be to actually play in Newcastle compared to Manchester United. I feel like Manchester United's more of an attractive place to play just in general. So so the decision is yours, Benjamin Sesko. But I agree with what Tommy Boyle said, which is basically that surely this guy's already essentially given his green light to Man United and said that, yes, he wants to come and play for us, which is why United have gone and bid this amount of money. This is a huge amount of money. Let's talk about this amount of money. Yeah, how you doing, Che United, you legend? More importantly, splash out on Donnarumma midfielders getting a lone striker. Fair play to you, Jay. Well, hopefully we are going to get in a goalkeeper. Donnarumma, I just can't imagine he'd come to us, but we should definitely try. But this is a problem area for us, isn't it? This striker position. I mean, we've got three key positions: the goalie, the midfielder, the striker. We obviously need that. Ugarte, Casemiro, these guys just aren't really enough. We need more cover there. Somebody more mobile who can play that midfield destroyer role for us would be lovely. Also, a striker to bang in the goals because Rasmus can't be trusted. And then a goalkeeper to stop the flow of goals in the opposite direction due to Mr. Flubberhand Andre Onana. Those are absolutely right. I completely agree with what you're saying, Jay. But this is a good start, mate. I mean, this is a long-term signing, isn't it? This is a one for the long-term, lad. This is like 5 years' time, this guy could still be banging in goals for us as a great player. That's the hope anyway. It's not always going to work out that way. We've seen many players be signed for big money, and I do have my reservations about this because of our track record of signing players like Hojlund, Anthony Dos Santos, all these little monstrosities of players that have turned out to be not all that, really. And we've signed them for big, big money, no different to this Sesko deal, and they flopped. They flopped, guys, like a fish out of the water. They most definitely have flopped. This guy does look better than Hojlund. He's got way more experience than Hojlund at this stage. We signed Hojlund at 20 with only a handful of games over in Serie A, really. This guy's been playing Champions League games, obviously a couple of years over there for Leipzig, for the Slovenian international team as well as their biggest player. He's got experience is what I'm saying. It's more experience and his record's good. I'm trying to convince myself of this signing, guys. I really am, because I'm almost like Jay, where I'm thinking, well, if we've only got, say, 80 or 90 million pounds to spend, then shouldn't we be buying maybe a 40 or 50 million pound striker, a 30 million pound goalkeeper, and trying to get a midfielder in as well? So it depends what we're going to do. If we are going to go and get those positions sorted, then this will be a great signing. But if we're not and we're just going to get this guy, then we might be left wanting in other positions. Plus also, someone like Ollie Watkins, with his Premier League proven experience and pedigree right now, would probably be more of a sure bet for this coming season. Whereas this guy, you know, he could be good, he could be great. But he also could flop around like Rasmus Hojlund. Yeah, Daz Salford, he says, should have got Watkins and a keeper. Sesko could be amazing, but he could be Hojlund 2.0. I agree with what you guys are saying. Let's ask the live chat. You all rate Sesko now? Well, listen, Joey, I personally rate Sesko, but just not as much as what these guys have just said, really. I think somebody like Watkins, Mateta, Visser, with their proven Premier League experience, and the fact they're way up in their age, you know, they're 28, 29-year-old players. They've got the experience within the Prem and as players, and they're ready. They're ready to just slot in with the experience of playing in that league. This guy's got to adapt, and it's not guaranteed that you can do well. I mean, he's clearly got talent. He's clearly great in the air. He's clearly physical. You know, I think he'll do well. But there's no guarantees, is there? He could be another Rasmus Hojlund, like Jay United said here, there. And maybe we should have gone and got Ollie Watkins. So I'll ask the live chat there, guys. We've got this on the table, obviously. It depends on his decision, but it does seem like if we've bid, he should be interested in joining Man United. And if I was him, I not just because I'm a United fan, but I would join Man United over Newcastle as well, because of the size of the club and the long-term vision rather than just the short-term. In a couple of years' time, I'd imagine Eddie Howe's going to go off and manage England, and then I think Newcastle will just be back to being a mid-table guff side. But we'll see. They do have rich owners. They do have big backing. They do have a good squad of players. But if you actually think about it, Eddie Howe was such an X-factor for them when he came in. He's turned players like you know, Joelinton, who, let's face it, looked like a bit of a calamity before he came into really good players. So he is a great coach, and I think a lot of their success does hinge on obviously who is the coach, and if the new coach after him is going to be much good. Of course, we've got a coach in Amorim who's unproven, who's you know, his job's up in the air as well. So, but we're just a huger club, you know, a much bigger club. You reckon he'll be better than Ekitike? Love that. How much did Newcastle bid? They've bid about £3 or £4 million more than us. They've bid 80 million plus 10. But again, we don't know exactly the structures of the deal, or if there's sort of performance-based bonuses, that sort of stuff that's obtainable. It does make a difference. But let's ask the chat, guys. If you could have signed one striker in this window, bear in mind the money we're having to spend on Sesko here. It's huge, huge money. We're talking £74 million is our first opening bid. 74 million. I could get a couple of positions sorted. Bear that in mind and let me know who you would have signed for the striker position. Would you have gone and got Watkins for 50? Maybe Visser for 45? Maybe Mateta for 55? Or Sesko? Let us know your thoughts and opinions. Get your thoughts in there. I am still in the Watkins camp, I must admit, because I feel like if we could have got him for 50, maybe swapped Garnacho or done something there, we could have got a really experienced striker who's going to just be good for us for at least a couple of years and won't have to struggle to adapt or learn to a new league or anything. So I think that makes a huge difference, doesn't it, if you've got that Premier League proven experience. So I would have gone for Watkins. I would have, and I'd have tried to sign a big goalkeeper, somebody like Diogo Costa, or perhaps a Martinez maybe, or a Donnarumma if that was even feasibly possible, and then another midfielder as well. So that is the thing. But Sesko's obviously a good sign. If that's who Amorim wants, long-term vision. I mean, if the problem with Watkins is in 2 or 3 years' time, you're going to be looking at having to get another new striker, a younger striker to take over. Yes, okay, Watkins solves the problem of right now, right here, right now, of getting goals and proven Premier League experience. But in 2 or 3 years' time, you're just going to be in the same position. And you're going to have lost all your money that you've invested into him. £50 million down the shitter. So from a financial Glazer Ineos point of view, this makes so much more sense to go for Sesko, because he's going to have long-term appreciation, actually, instead of depreciation. He's 22, so, I mean, unless he has a stinker like Gashmas Boyland, he should be holding his value pretty well long-term, and in 5 years' time should be worth, hopefully, more than what he's worth now. Whereas, obviously, the Watkinses of this world, the Vissers, the Matetas, all those sorts of guys, really, they're after a long-term contract now, they're done. So I like the vision. I like the long-term potential of Benjamin Sesko. I really hope he can come in and just smash it up if we do sign. I'm talking like we've already signed him, though, haven't I? We haven't already signed him. I'm talking like we've already signed him because you know who else is in for him, guys? Newcastle. And you'd have to be a right mammary of a man to choose Newcastle United over Manchester United right now. Come on. Manchester United's a freaking dynasty of English football. Paul S., thank you so much, mate, for your super chats. Get some raw love in there for Paul again, guys. Check out this legend. He says, having attackers who actually want to be here will be a nice change. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, it's all about the mentality, isn't it? That's it. The effort levels, as long as you're working very hard. You've got to outwork the opposition as well as having more talent, in my opinion. You can't just turn up. I think we had a lot of players who just think they could turn up in the past, and we've still got a few lingerers around. Rashford's gone, obviously. Alejandro Garnacho going, hopefully. Sancho, these guys. But yeah, you're absolutely right. We need players who want to be here. And I don't have a problem if we can't get rid of Hojlund. He can be a backup. I still think we should sell him outright, get 30 mil back. Maybe that's the plan. Maybe they're going to do some deal with Leipzig. We've discussed that with Hojlund. Let's ask the chat, guys. Loan, keep or sell Hojlund. We could loan him to RB Leipzig for a season. Let him develop over there. Help them out. They'll be loving that. They'll be more inclined maybe to do a deal with us for Sesko, because we're going to help them out with a cheeky little loan move for Rasmus. They'll get a good player for a year, maybe with an option to buy, maybe not. But then worst case scenario, he's contracted to 2030 at Man United, which means that Hojlund can go and develop in the Bundesliga and maybe could come back a new player. So I say we do that. I say we loan him, but let's hear your thoughts, opinions. Loan, keep or sell Hojlund. He's only worth about 30 million. You know, he's the sort of player, I know he's had a bit of a gash time of it and he just doesn't really look all that good, but he's the sort of player he could go on in a couple of years' time and be very, very good. He's going to be Denmark's main striker for years. He's obviously young, physical, quick, all that sort of stuff. He could be a really good player in the future. But right now, I think he's just going through a bit of a tough period of time where he's having a stinker, obviously, but he has still potential. So maybe a loan move actually makes more sense than selling him. But then again, maybe keeping him makes sense because we don't have a lot of options up there. We've got Chido-Obi, we've got Hojlund, and of course we've got Sesko if we sign him, right? And he's going to be the main guy if we sign him. if you think about what we did in the last game in pre-season there, we've just played Everton and we started with like Cunha up top there, didn't we? So maybe that's some sort of indication of what Amarim's thinking is that maybe sometimes he will play the likes of Mbuemo or Cunha or whoever at top there. So maybe we don't actually need Hojlund this season. That's possible. But again, I'm really not bothered about Hojlund. This is what I'm saying. He's not one of those toxic players like Paul S. was talking about, one of these lazy strikers that doesn't attack. You know, Paul S. just said, having attackers who actually want to be here. Hojlund wants to be here. You know, we've heard his comments the other day saying that he wants to stay and he wants to fight for his place and he wants to work hard for the team and play. You know, and that's good to have competition. It's good to have. That's the right mentality to have, rather than just being some bottle job like Rashford or something as soon as a new manager comes in with a different way of doing things or asking you to meet a certain standard or fight your way into the team and just give up, rather than just give up actually fighting for your place. I've got nothing against it. You know, obviously maybe he's not really what we need right now, but if we've got a new striker coming in to take over from him, maybe that's going to give Hojlund exactly what he needs. I think the problem for Hojlund was, right, he should have never been in this position where he was Man United's #1 striker anyway. He was thrown in right at the deep end with no armbands as a toddler who's never been in the swimming pool before, basically. And you know what? He's freaking drowned. We had to send David Hasselhoff in there to go and save him. You know, like, that's the reality. He has been thrown in at the deep end at United, and it's not the best progression for him. He should have been playing sporadically. He should have been learning from a senior striker who's playing ahead of him, and he's trying to fight his way into the side, and he's trying to learn and develop and getting opportunities here and there and coming off the bench and doing all that sort of stuff. Not chucked in at the deep end as the main guy. That should have actually never happened. So blame that Dutch Kojak Erik ten Hag mug for all of that, because Hojlund's had his development halted and he's had a lot of pressure put on his shoulders to be the main guy delivering up there, and he's absolutely bottled under that pressure, to be fair. But who knows, somewhere else he could be very good. Exactly. Tommy says loan to Leipzig is a great move for Rasmus. I agree with you. Let's see what you guys are saying about it. So Howard says keep. Mr. says loan. Yes. Keep for one more season. Loan. I have in the past, Chips. Yes. Sell Hojlund and reinvest for a midfielder and a goalie. Loan with an obligation to buy. Keep as a backup. Yep. Sell Rasmus. No obvious strengths as a striker. Will be at Brighton or Burnley within 5 years. Maybe. Maybe. I mean, he does have some strength. He is quick as fuck. I mean, if you actually look at his performances in pre-season for us last couple of games, he's not actually been bad. He's held it up reasonably well. He's shown a little bit of pace getting in one-on-one. Remember that chance? Was it against West Ham? I don't know. Eddie Doors, where he's... Or was it against Bournemouth, where he's just missed the... You know, it was almost good. It was almost good, but not quite. You know, he's got potential there. But he is a headless chicken at the moment in terms of the last 2 seasons. If you're analysing his performances for us, you can't really give him raving reviews. He was shite last season and got about 3 goals. Loan him, you say there, Mr. Steve Barrero. Yep, fair enough. He's still young, exactly. One more chance loan. Yeah, sell. We need money for a midfielder. You heard a few clubs want him for 30 million, so sell and reinforce. Not a bad shout. Loan to Leipzig. We have a good relationship with them. Yeah, we've got Christoph Feivel at the football club. Obviously, previously worked with the Red Bull brand, so we should be able to, you know, do well there. Keep will turn good. In 5 years' time, the UK will be only 2 great teams, Man United and the second Man United team. Let's go, Evo. He's had 2 years and regressed. The Scousers will flog Nunez. We should do the same. That's a good point, David Juicenip. Yeah, you know, why stick with mediocrity? It's a fair point. Watkins, Hojlund and Vardy. Lots of experience to help Hojlund inspire. I love that, Jay. I absolutely love that. Obviously, it seems like the Watkins deal is off the table right now, which is a shame. It is obviously quite difficult to get those deals done with rival Premier League teams, especially a team like Aston Villa who don't have a lot of money right now, who probably really want to keep hold of their players. No, you cannot question Hojlund's attitude precisely there. No worries, J United. You cannot question Hojlund's attitude. You can only question his abilities. His attitude is good. Same with somebody like Anthony Dos Santos. I've never seen Anthony Dos Santos looking lazy in a game. You know, he might be a bit of a headless chicken, 1 foot wonder, but he's never lazy. He's never not trying. Same goes for Andre Onana. It's not due to lack of effort or desire for this guy to not play well. It's just that he's absolutely shite, you know. You'd send Pamela Anderson to the deep end, not Hasselhoff. All right, steady on there, G2B lad. Liam Neeson's got his self in there these days, mate. You want to watch out, lad, because he's got a particular set of skills that he's acquired over a long career that makes him a nightmare for people like you. You know what I mean? Super chat. Simon Cowie, you absolute don. Yes, mate. Simon getting in there raw with a super chat as well. Thank you, Simon. Thank you so much, Simon Cowie. By the way, we've hit 142 likes. Thank you, everyone who's hit the like button there. Big news today, guys. Big news. Man United going in there. for Benjamin Sesko, and I'm actually buzzing my titties off a little bit about this one because it means we're actually moving for strikers, and we need a striker, and this guy has long-term potential to be great. I'm a little bit concerned he's not going to be maybe as good as the likes of Watkins right now, but I know he'll be better than him in 4 years' time, so we just have to look for the long-term future, really. Okay, and when I say no, he's better than him, I don't mean no as knowing that he's going to be better than Watkins right now. I mean, Watkins will be 34 by then or whatever, so... Simon, thank you so much, though, for your comment here and getting in there with your opinion. He says, loan Hojlund to RB Leipzig and see if he can improve in Germany and maybe increase his transfer value, or can be brought back a better player. That's a good comment. So thank you for that, Simon. So that's it. If we lend him to Leipzig for a season, maybe give them an option to buy of something like, I don't know, 45 million euros or 50 million euros. Not dirt cheap, but an option there. If he really does really well and they like him, they can get him if they want. But not dirt cheap like 30 million, because 30 million seems less than probably what we could get for him on the back of a good season. His contract is 5 years, so there's no problems there with length of contract and his contract running down, and therefore his value diminishing in the short term. That's not going to be the case for ages. So yeah, he could go somewhere like Leipzig if he had a good season and bagged in 15 to 20 Bundesliga goals. Surely his premium's going to go up, his price is going to go up, and the desire for other teams to sign him is going to go up as well. So I think that's absolutely spot on, Simon. Great comment. Thank you so much for the super chat as well. B&G Darts, g'day from down under, you bloody legend. What's going on? He says, nice one, Piggy. Good Liam voice. Love your work. Oh, thank you very much, B&G Darts. You know it, lad. Yeah. If you let her go now, that'll be the end of it. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, no, he's with Pamela Anderson now. Or to put it in a Geordie expression there, Jason Brown, he's up Pamela's tubes right now, isn't he? There, Jason Brown, you know what I mean? Fair play to him. Go on, Liam. Right. So let's get back into it. Sorry, we've been derailed there a little bit. Oh yes, we were talking about Sesko and the potential there for Rasmus Hojlund to go over to RB Leipzig as a loan move, maybe, and for him to develop and come back to United a better player. That's definitely an option anyway. That is most definitely an option there. Tommy says, Ornstein on Sky Sports News tonight at 10:30 for what the back pages are saying should be an interesting watch. Oh, interesting, Tommy Boyle, lad. Yeah, well, hopefully we can see some big update by then. Like we said, it seems like Man United are in the position where we were only going to bid for Benjamin Sesko if there's an assurance there, or at least the desire there from Benjamin Sesko to actually choose us. So it seemed we were only going to offer for him if he chosen us, which means hopefully now we've bid, he doesn't want Newcastle. I mean, you'd have to be a bit of a tit to choose Newcastle, wouldn't you? You've got to think about the long term and not just now. I mean, I don't know what Newcastle would be offering him in terms of wages. Perhaps they would offer him more than Man United, and then he's just going for the money. Who knows? But I guess there's a big opportunity there for someone. We have to talk about this. So, like, Isak's had an amazing time at Newcastle, hasn't he? If you're actually a player like Sesko looking at what Isak's done, maybe you're thinking, well, actually, that's the perfect club to go to right now. They do have European football. You can add to the stats, all that sort of stuff in Europe. They are up there in terms of the Premier League. They are playing decent football with a good coach. In terms of development, look at what happens when young players come to Manchester United in general. I mean, there's a couple that have done well, but the track record in recent years is gashtastic for players coming into Man United and flopping. We've talked about Anthony and Hojlund and many other players that have flopped. So if you're a player like Sesko, there must be some sort of maybe apprehension about how things might go at United. You're not guaranteed to do well, are you? You could come in, the team could struggle, you could struggle. Next thing you know, you're being labelled as a gashtastic flop. And your development's halted and your price tag is down and your premium's down. You know what I mean? That could happen. It must be a little bit concerning with how things have gone at Man United right now. Whereas Newcastle, if you look at Isak's gone there from Real Sociedad, you know, a smaller club than RB Leipzig in a lot of ways, but a similar sort of set up there. He's gone over there to Newcastle and he's developed into a £150 million player in a couple of seasons. £150 million is what apparently they want for him, and Liverpool have actually bid 120 and had it rejected. So we know that his value is just insane. He's one of the best strikers in the world, and look what's happened to him. he's gone on to maybe now get his big money move to a huge club where he is going to be competing for Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues. That's the idea anyway. And so if someone like Sesko wanted in a few years' time to play for a bigger club than Newcastle and play for Real Madrid or Barca or whoever, then this is the perfect sort of stepping stone for him, isn't it? Because it's not a club that you have to stay at. There's still a club that struggles to keep hold of their biggest, best talents once they've got too big for Newcastle, because Newcastle does have a limited ceiling. They're not a Champions League winning side. They're not a Premier League winning side. They need to do that first. Okay, they're trying to, but they need to actually do that first. Yeah. How about Michael Caine? I don't know about... I can't really do a Michael Caine impression, mate. I'll try for you there, really. Don't throw those bloody spears at me. My name is Michael Caine. That was absolutely awful. That's not him. Anyway, still massive profit. You were only supposed to play the bloody doors off. The number of fans makes a big deal, bigger fan base, bigger potential income from endorsements, shirt sales, etc. Russell says, if Isaac's worth 150 million, I must be 250k, and I'm an overweight 48-year-old. Well, you probably are, mate. What are you doing? Could you play in goal? Maybe. But in all fairness, like we were saying this, like if you actually go back 15, 20 years, those players, the strikers of that era, they'd be worth quarter of a billion now if these guys are worth 150. Isaac's not worth 150, is he, mate? No. Yeah, Howard, lad, he says the team was struggling last season, so not blaming Rasmus. He wasn't getting any good stuff. That's a fair point. Although I did think his movement was pretty gash, and when he did get chances, he wasn't clinical. But certainly if the team was playing better or he was playing in a better team, surely he'd be a better player. You're not wrong about that, my son. When's the next friendly game? I think it is on the 9th. It's against Fiorentina at Old Trafford. I think it's Saturday the 9th, mate. Pretty sure it's around midday or 12:30 p.m. It's an early one. Thank you. No worries, Elliot. Appreciate you. What have you missed? Dave Watkins, you legend. Let's get stuck in there, raw lad. Your favourite's Piggy's Farker impression. Oh, yeah, Daniel Farker, Leeds United manager, yeah. Oh, yeah, it is wonderful to be back in the Premier League, yeah. Ooh. Last time I was in the Premier League, I was on top of Delia Smith, yeah. Ooh. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Please tell me Leipzig buys Rasmus for 40 million. Well, that's a great shout. I didn't even think about potentially actually selling him to Leipzig. But if they want to replace a 22-year-old good young prospect with another 22-year-old big young prospect, then yeah, Rasmus Hojlund would actually be a decent shout, wouldn't he? Oh, that would be good business by United if we could sell him for 40 mil. I like that. Okay, let's just have a look at the latest update, see if anything else has come out before we get stuck raw into the live chat. Just check the latest sources, see if there's any news about this deal, any extra on Manchester United or any other deals. Let's just have a look at this report from Ben Jacobs. Says Nicholas Jackson's another name on Newcastle's list of attacking options, and Chelsea are open to a sale. There have been some initial club-to-club talks already. Brentford's Johan Visser's another target, with the player pushing to join Newcastle. Out of the two, I'd definitely go for Visser out of those two if I was Newcastle. If they can't get Sesko and he goes to Man United, Visser. We should go for Visser. He's a lot cheaper, but anyway, Visser. Okay, also reports Rudy Galletti says United are finalising their Benjamin Sesko bid. Marco Alcaraz says Benjamin Sesko has agreed personal terms with Man United as well as Newcastle. So obviously, you know, that's not a problem there. Ben Jacobs said 5 minutes ago that he understands Benjamin Sesko has now agreed financial terms with both Man United and Newcastle. Both clubs confident on reaching agreement with Leipzig in the coming hours. Man United believes Sesko wants to join them. So he's agreed terms with both, but surely his preference is to join Man United. Surely he said to us, yes, I want to join you. Come and get me, which is why we've now gone on bid to compete with Newcastle. Surely that's happened. AC Milan closing in on Arden Jashari, another player that's been linked to us this summer. Sky says breaking Man United have made a bid worth just under 74 million. Mate, slow sports news or what? How slow is Sky, mate? They're even slower than me. Fucking hell. Just 9 minutes ago they've posted that. That's a disgrace. Florian Plettenberg says, exclusive details. Understand that Benjamin Sesko and his camp have reached full verbal agreements with both United and Newcastle over long-term contracts. Final details were settled yesterday. It's now mainly depends on which club he wants to join, basically, and the agreement with RB Leipzig, obviously. State of the Isaac situation. Yanar Fjortov says, so to state the obvious, it could have a big impact on the Isaac situation. Some decisive talks going on in Newcastle. So obviously, if they can't get Sesko, they're going to have to go for somebody else and could have a knock-on effect with the whole Isaac situation. Okay. that's the latest updates that have come out since we've been waffling on. So a couple of other little things to discuss in terms of the latest Man United news before we get into the comment section for the chat and everything. But before I do that, just one or two very little things to just breeze past. So a player linked with us, John Victor, that goalkeeper, or Victor John, whatever his name was, from Botafogo. Fab's now said this morning that he is basically joining West Ham, or at least West Ham have reached a verbal agreement to sign Victor John as a new goalkeeper from Botafogo. €10 million package, almost agreed with final details being sorted. John agreed terms and the deal is almost sealed. I mean, hopefully we're going for someone like Lamans or Donnarumma or someone, because this would have been a good option actually for the price. John Victor there Victor John looks like he's going to West Ham. Just wanted to mention that because he was a player we were talking about a couple of weeks ago. No, that's basically it. That's basically it, guys. That's basically the latest news. We didn't even get Fab's post up on the screen, I don't think, but Fab also just confirming the fact that United sent an official bid to show his serious, concrete intentions to RB Leipzig following Newcastle's €90 million bid. Sources at United believe Sesko's keen on the move and decided to proceed with the official bid. Newcastle and United are waiting for his formal decision. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you'd be a fool not to choose Manchester United. For a start, there is only one United, isn't there? Everybody knows that. If you say United, who do you think of? You don't think of Newcastle United. You don't think of Leeds United. You don't think of Scunthorpe United. No, you think of Manchester United. Look, even there, Newcastle and United. We are United. We are the only United, guys. We are the biggest, best team by a mile in terms of history out of these two. So if you're Sesko, you've got to be mad to go and join those belts. Plus, you don't even know what's going on with Isak. What if Isak doesn't go anywhere and he's reintroduced back into the team? Which could happen because he's a great player, and surely Eddie Howe would actually want his talents and goals in the team, even if they have had this big falling out of him. If they can't get rid of him, what are they going to do? Put him in the reserves for the whole season? Is that likely? No. They're going to have to reintroduce him, aren't they, I'd imagine? That's if they can't sell him, which I'm sure they're working on. But if they can't, then what the fuck's going on there with Sesko? He's not going to want to compete with Isak, is he? Oh, no. So from his point of view, surely United's the one. And like we've said, Man United, we're disappointed if we don't win and compete and get European football. We're massively disappointed. For Newcastle, it's a bloody luxury. If Newcastle win a League Cup, they're shouting from the rooftops, "We are the Mickey Mouse Disney Cup winners. Come on." They're fucking loving it, mate. That's like a Champions League victory for those twats. Whereas Man United, okay, we're not there, but we've won trophies over the last few years. We've won the League Cup. We won FA Cups. We got to Europa League finals and bottled it against Spurs. But we have done that. So if you're him, you've got to look at United as the place to go to win trophies for a long-term vision. If you want to win trophies, United's the place to be. If you want to potentially challenge in a couple of years' time, not right now, but if you want, then in a couple of years' time, Man United makes a heck of a lot more sense than anywhere else. Yes, let's go, Luke CX. How you getting on, you hero? Right, we're going to get stuck into the live chat now, guys, for a big Q&A. Thank you, everyone who's in here. Get your thoughts and opinions in here now. Now's the time. Once again, hit the thumbs up if you haven't done so. Smash the like, smash the subscribe if you're new. We're on our way to 92,000 subscribers. Give us a little cheeky little subscribe if you're new and get involved. Oh, yes. And big news about us bidding for Sesko. Hopefully means that, he's seriously wanting to join us. Sesko value every little helps. There you go. Well, Kate Connect's going to be happy. We can use his Sesko club cards now. Did you hear Victor John ask, could you take me to go and see Spider-Man and Maguire's agent? There's only one. There's only took into bloody West Ham. I don't know what the hell you want about Vincent, lad. West Ham United being United. John's entertaining when he saves shots. His style reminds me of watching a cat. Nice, mate. Yeah, I mean, I can't say I've seen much of him other than a few clips online. But he obviously doesn't have the experience, but he's a cheap pickup. What's up, Carlos? How you doing, Rotherham? Vincent said if we buy this player, it buggers up Liverpool, and we love that. Yeah, I like that. Ineos is the type to celebrate Jackson deadline signing. I don't know about that, I think Jackson's got Newcastle written all over him, lad. Or Visser, to be fair. Marcus Leonardo over Sesko. Interesting shout there, Morris Wataka, lad. Thank you for getting in here. Raw Morris. Dortmund sporting director Sebastian Kell said yesterday that Sancho was a player they're pondering a move for and in talks with his representatives at United. I mean, that would be great, wouldn't it, if we could get rid of him this summer, yeah. I still feel like it's going to be difficult, but Dortmund surely is a destination he'd actually like to go. He's been there before. He did well there. Sort of perfect club for him right now. No, Jackson. Yeah, no, we don't want Jackson. And nice, Stoic Savage. You're sitting on the beach in Croatia listening to Daddy Pig. Steady on there, my son. Stoic Savage, that's amazing. I hope you're having a great time. That sounds awesome, lad. That does actually sound amazing. Are you streaming tonight? Of course I am, Elliot. Yes, lad. I will be on the FIFA tonight at around about 10:45 on the gaming channel. Subscribe to Flying Pig Gaming on YouTube. Oh, you know what? I haven't actually put the link to repost in, have I? What a melt job. I don't know if one of the mods can do that for me. Kate, do you know how to copy a link over on X there, mate? If you could do that, it'd be amazing. Yeah, we will be on Sesko's next soon when he doesn't do well. Who plays next to Bruno then? Right, well, Hamill, this is a problem area for us. We should be looking to sign a new midfielder to play that position, shouldn't we? 100%, mate, 100%. I mean, it's going to be Ugarte or Casemiro at the moment, but that's just not enough, really. We need somebody who's got more mobility. I've got my reservations about Ugarte, you know. I thought he was crap in the last game. I'm not going to just, you know, judge him on one pre-season game, but over the last season, I've not really had my socks blown off by him. I've got to be honest. I've not had my socks blown off by him. Yeah, if working on a 2-year plan, it makes sense to get some young ones some game time for a bit of experience. Definitely it does, B&G, yes. And obviously long-term, someone like Sesko makes sense more so than a near 30-year-old Watkins as well. So, oh, you don't have X? Oh, okay then. History doesn't win trophies. Great teams do. The clubs with wealthy owners have a better chance of success. Yes, Berber lad, where are you gone, lad? Or Daz Salford, I don't know. Disco Dave says this is a huge gamble from both Amorim and Ineos. If he doesn't work out, Ruben's gone and Ineos lose any support from the fans. Definitely, yeah, you're not wrong. It would have made more sense for him to cheap out, go for a Prem player, someone like Visser. That way, at least if, well, it's probably more likely to work out, but also if it doesn't, it's like you haven't spent as much. Like, this does have potential to be another Man United big-time flop, doesn't it? I mean, he looks good, his record's good, but it's not amazing, and it's not Premier League proven, so it's still a gamble. A lot of money, huge money, in fact. We are setting ourselves up for another Gashmas, Hojlund, Anthony Dos Santos situation. That's what we're doing. Thank you for reposting, Jay. Yeah, well, you know, you can just find the repost and repost us. That'd be amazing. Oh, thank you, Tommy, for putting the link to the Patreon in there. Yes, if you want to be a patron, all patron. Yes, if you want to be a patron, you can be. Oh, yes. If you want to be a Patreon, you can do. There's the link. Thank you very much. Ten Hag is interested in bringing Hojlund to Leverkusen according to court offside. He should charge Ten Hag double the price. That'd be great. That would be wonderful if that could happen as well and get some cash back from that Dutch Kojak. That's what should happen, really. He stitched us up so much, spent 600 million on cash. He's surely got to give us a bit of cash back now. It's not a gamble. Sesko's a very good player. Oh, Kate, I've heard it all before, mate. I've seen it all before. This guy's amazing. He's coming over for... Come on, lad. Use your noggin. Come on, lad. He's obviously good and he has potential, but does that really guarantee that he's going to be good for us? It's a gamble. I don't care what you say. Of course it's a gamble. He's not proven in the Prem. He's not proven to do it for us. He can barely do it for RB Leipzig, mate. Okay, so in the last 2 years, in the top 5 leagues, he's scored more goals than any other under 23-year-old player, which bodes very, very well. But he's not a prime player. He's not ready made truly to go in there and do the job. He still has to learn and adapt and improve, right, and come into the Premier League. And we're paying big money for him. It's definitely a massive gamble, actually, compared to, like, going to get Watkins or Visser or Mateta, somebody who's actually got that Premier League experience and is 5-6 years older. Of course it's a gamble there, Kate, lad, and the money involved. It is a gamble. His record over in the Bundesliga is bang average as well. 13 goals or whatever it was last season. Decent. But usually, if you're getting a certain amount of goals in the Bundesliga, you get less in the Premier League. I mean, not always, but usually. I seem to remember Timo Werner scoring like 30 goals a season over there in the Bundesliga. Look at this meltbag as he came over to the Premier League. He's absolutely sharted his pants. So I'm not so sure, Kate. It's definitely a gamble as far as I'm concerned with the amount of money involved. It could be another Hojlund. Equally, it could be the next, who knows? He could be the next, like, you know, Zlatan for us or something. Who knows? He could be that sort of level of player in a few years' time. Obviously not Zlatan, because Zlatan was amazing, you know, when he was at Ajax as a youngster, but still. Unicorn Sky, get in there, Unicorn. How you doing today? Welcome aboard the Bacon Express, you legendess. Hope you're keeping well. Let's go. How are you doing? What do you make of this Sesko news? Dilvani getting in here raw as well. How you doing today, mate? He says, Dilvani, I agree, it's too expensive. We need to give them Hojlund as part of the deal. I like it. I like it. Well, that could be done separately, I suppose. That's a good shout. I mean, surely they would be in the market for a new good young striker to come in there to replace Benjamin Sesko. And Hojlund actually might make the most sense for them because right now his premium is low. His price tag has gone down. It's diminished. We bought him for 73 million and now he's probably worth about 30 million. But after a couple of good seasons doing well at 24 years of age in 2 years' time, he could be worth that again if he does well. There's a big if involved there. Morris, I like your style. Any excuse to mock that Ten Hag melt would be welcomed here. Yes. Behave yourself, says the Cake Cadet. No, I genuinely believe it is a risk, lad. It is a risk. Yeah, Charlie says, of course, it's a gamble. Yes. I know our sponsorships will pay for this transfer. Sesko's the best talent available. Better to try for that. Guaranteed average signing like a cheap mid. Yeah, you know I'm not a mud, but... Oh, I don't think... sorry, Unicorn, only mods can actually post links in there, so I don't know if you... Is that in reference to you posting a link? Thank you, I couldn't see it because only mods can post links. But, yes, thank you, Unicorn. You are on the mod list, definitely. We need to add some more mods at some point. Disco Dave is... I've already promised him the next mod, but, you know... Well, as and when we need them, as the channel grows, we'll definitely be adding some of the legends, definitely. Some of the legends, and shout out to Unicorn Sky for being a Patreon member as well over on Patreon, as well as the likes of Daz Salford and Dave Watkins and these heroes. Big ups. Thank you so much. Yes, Unicorn. Yeah, I didn't see it. I'm sorry about that. I didn't see it because it only pops up if the mod's posted. But hang on, Tommy Boyle's put one in there. Thank you so much, guys. Yes, give us a repost. You can share it around. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Right, okay. Jackson, hell no. It's a hell no from me as well. Big time. Can't stand the guy. Why are you bringing Timo into it? Don't tarnish Sesko with gash comparisons. You need to make these comparisons, though, don't you? There's a history there. How many players have we seen do well in other leagues and then come to the Premier League and struggle? I'm not talking about anything revolutionary here, Cake. It's a common thing. And it's not just Man United. I mean, if you are just looking at Man United, though, and recent players, goodness me, how many players came over from the Eredivisie and struggled? You know, Anthony has Shatik coming over from the Eredivisie, hasn't he? And Onana and Hojlund coming over from Italy, and Kagawa and Werner, and even Havertz in his first season coming over from the Bundesliga, and Depay, Memphis Depay coming over from the Eredivisie, was doing bits over there in the Eredivisie. His stats were amazing. That's because he's playing in a farmers league, mate. You know what I mean? Or a cheesemakers surströmming eaters league, whatever you want to call it. But you know, it's a different animal doing it in the Premier League, my friend. It really is. What would Fergie do? Sign Watkins or gamble on Sesko? He probably would have got Watkins. But you never know. Sometimes, you know, like I remember when he plucked out, like Xavier Hernandez or, Ruud van Nistelrooy coming from Eindhoven. Like, different situation. I know Ruud was very highly, highly regarded, but still, though, we got him from Eindhoven as more of an unknown, I guess, compared to somebody who had that Premier League experience at the time. But I'd have to say he probably would go for the Watkins type player at the moment. Oh, patron. Oh, yes. You don't like Tesco or Costco, to be honest? Never been to Costco. Tesco's gash. Juan Varane, world class till he arrived at United. Juan Sebastian Varane, sorry. He's another one. Definitely. There you go, Russell. Diego Forlan. I'm sorry to say, but, I mean, Sesko's only just started, but Diego Forlan, I'm very much doubting that Sesko's going to be as good or have a career as good as Diego Forlan, right? But Forlan didn't work out at United. Forlan was gash for United, really. Couldn't hit a barn door. Bless him. You know, this didn't work out at United for him. Sometimes it doesn't. So there are no guarantees with players being signed. Sesko's no different. Luke CX says, Piggy, assuming Sesko joins, how many goals and assists does he get this season? Love that comment there, Luke. Let's have a little question about it. So if Sesko does come and he's got Koeman and Buemo behind him, Bruno playing balls from deep, etc., in a team that's hopefully playing better, how many goals do you think he's going to get, guys? Let's just talk goals, actually. Let's talk goals. So how many goals do you think he'll score? I think he could score, I'm going to be hopeful and say 15 goals in his first season. If we signed him this summer and he played the whole season, I would hope he could get 15 goals. And that is basically, that's league goals, by the way, 15 league goals. I think that's conservative. Surely, what's the point of even signing this player if he's not going to get at least that? But I think he would struggle to get that, or more than that, because he's only got 13 in the Bundesliga for Leipzig, everyone. Remember that. And the Premier League's more competitive, and United's finished 15th last season. So I feel like it'll be hard, but if he's the main guy up there playing the main striker role for us throughout the season, he should be getting at least 15 goals. You've got Mbeumo and Cunha, who should be getting about the same. So the goals can be a little bit more spread throughout the team, so to speak. But he's still got to get 15 goals. Otherwise, what's the bloody point of signing him? Simon Cowie, thank you so much for your super chat here. We're going to get into the chat in regards to your predictions there in a second. I'm just going to read Simon's super chat. He says this: assuming Sesko joins, sorry, that's Luke CX's comment. Simon Cowie, thank you for your comment. He says, Pig, if we get Sesko, it would be Fernandes, Ugarte, and Mbeumo, Cunha, Sesko. That's a dangerous attack. Oh, mate, that does sound very good, doesn't it? Yeah. Especially for the long term. I mean, Fernandes is the only player out of them that probably won't be here in 2 or 3 years' time. The rest of them, you know, they can develop, they can do well. Obviously, they're still reasonably young to the point that in 3 years, you know, the likes of Mbeumo and Cunha, they're just going to be 28, 29. So, yeah, that sounds good for a long time, doesn't it, mate? I agree. That does sound good. When you put it like that, I mean, it's definitely better than what we've got at the moment. We can't go into the season with Hojlund up top there as our main striker. He's just not going to really fit the bill of being a proven goal scorer. Yep, Eric Ten Hag was at a wig shop last week. He was choosing a wig, and it said it's a process. Oh, it's over to Sesko now. Decision time is imminent. Let's go, Benjamin. We have signed a lot of players from abroad past years, and most of them have flopped. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I thought we were actually changing our mentality this season, or at least our transfer plan of signing players, you know, from other leagues that don't necessarily work out. I thought we were changing to signing Premier League players. Amazing how Gakpo and Gravenberch do so well. Must have something to do with the environment of the club. That's definitely fair. I mean, it does seem like, you know, United players, when they leave Man United, they do seem to go and do well. Just look at McTominay and stuff. Whatever way you look at it, we've gone from Nacho and Rasmus to Sesko, Cunha and Mbeumo. I'm sorry, but that's a massive upgrade. Yeah, it is, especially in terms of mentality and effort levels and everything. You know, the likes of Mbeumo and Cunha and Sesko, those guys, they're going to work very hard for you, whereas players like Garnacho, he's got a sus mentality. Rashford, he's lazy. You know, yeah, you're right. Fergie wouldn't have the club in this position. Oh, you're damn right about that. We wouldn't even need a signing of a striker right now because we'd have Harry Kane at the football club. We would have gone and got Harry Kane before he went to Bayern, and we would have him right now. So that's the difference with Fergie. We signed a lot of foreign players, but not under Amorim. No, that's true. So far, well, a couple have come in, but so far, you know, a couple of signings from the Premier League, as in getting a player from Brentford and Wolves. Fergie would sign Watkins because he has scored goals in the Prem. Fergie would play it safe if his team was good, like with Van Persie. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, Van Persie's a little bit different, isn't it? Van Persie's like, at the time, he was the best striker in the world, pretty much. Like him and maybe like Falcao and one or two others, but he was like he was like the best striker in the world, and he was available on the cheap because he wanted to leave Arsenal. We got him for 20 mil, so that is a little bit different. But yeah, I feel you. Villa wants 60 for Watkins. Yeah, that's just crazy. 80 for Sesko makes sense compared to 60 for Watkins. 60 for Watkins is 60 down the drain. You're never getting back, but he will be good for a couple of years. Tesco's expensive and could be done, but Watkins still better in my opinion. Right now, Watkins is better. I agree. Right now, for the next 2-3 seasons, Watkins probably is better. Watkins going Newcastle and does well. This is the wrong move at this price. Depends how much they want. If they do want 60 and they're not willing to sell, that's Villa I'm talking about. If they want 60, then it's too much money. Man United would probably be a buyer around about 40 or 45 million. Guy's nearly 30. Sesko would join the biggest club in the world. Fergie would have got Isaac. That's a great shout as well. Watkins is old, but that's probably experienced, though. Don't care what anyone says. If Sesko wanted Newcastle, he would have gone days ago. I totally agree with you, Lewis. It looks that way. We're getting a very talented player in Sesko. He's been around for a long time, had plenty of experience at RB Leipzig. He's not finished article by any means. Great shout. He does look good. He has got potential. Maybe he's not the best option for right here, right now for this season compared to some of the other Premier League proven strikers, but he's certainly a good option, isn't he? Big ups from Indonesia, Farid. Thank you for getting in here. United fan from Indonesia, represent, lad. Thank you. Where are you all tuning from around the world? We'd love to hear from you guys. Let us know. By the way, I forgot to say, we asked you how many goals do you think Sesko will get this season, and let's see what you legends have said in the chat here. So, wait, where is that gone? Oh, yes. Oops. Oh, I do, mate. We were incredible then. Hang on a second. So 23 goals, Francois. Wow. You think 7? See, that would just be an ultimate flop of a season, wouldn't it? 20, 15 goals max. I kind of think 15 max. We shouldn't expect more than that in his first season as a young guy coming into the Prem. 12, 20, 20 plus. Well, if we could get 20 plus, then we know we've got ourselves a gem. If we could do that this season, we know we've got ourselves a gem for many years. Can't expect anything more than 10 with 13 in Bundesliga. Precisely. I agree, X-Man. 10 to 15, 17, 12, 15, 15 plus, 14, 13, 12 and 15 goals. How many games in a season? So 38 Premier League games. 38. So if he got 15, you know, we're talking about a lot less hit rate than 1 every 2 games. So that's conservative, you know. 6 to 8 goals and 2 assists. Isaac had 6 goals for Real Sociedad. Great shout, Bradley. It's a great shout, you know. It's a great shout. Developing, you know, like we said, there's similarities there with the size of the club and then going to the Premier League. And look what's happened to Isaac. So not saying that he can't do it, Bradley, lad. But if you look at the track records of certain players, you want to see them scoring goals, don't you, in whatever league they're in. Sesko got 13 goals and 5 assists for a team which creates the lowest amount of chances in the Bundesliga. Love that, Saudi. Great, interesting little bit of context to that stat there. Love it. Depends on the service, doesn't it? Yes, that's very true. If we're cooking and creating lots of chances, you know, the strikers can cook as well. Greater the expectation, greater the disappointment. Yeah, let's just limit our expectations with him. If we sign him successfully for 80 million or whatever it is, loads of money, let's not expect 30 goals from him the first season. The over-under would be 7.5. Mainu is great. I love Mainu, mate. I think he's going to be a great player long-term as well. He's not getting over 20, no chance. Yeah, I'm skeptical as well, big time. Simon says Sesko will score 17 to 20 in all competitions this season. Love that, lad. Neil Duffin, what's going on? He says, Auf Wiedersehen, pet. Jimmy Nail. Up yours, Geordie Shore Muppets. How are man? So it went down tune, like, with this gadget, like, trying to sign Benjamin Sesko, like, from RB Leipzig, but he's already gone and gone to Man United, like. Oh, how are man? Love that, Neil Duffin. Thank you so much, mate. How you doing? Hey, Pig and Friends, quick question. How's the new stadium going to get built? It's, I don't know, you know, these Glazers in your shithouses, mate. Don't believe a word they say. I've heard they're struggling to actually get, what do they need? They're trying to buy the land off some trading company or so. I can't remember now, some transport thing, you know, obviously like some of the land around Old Trafford. I don't know. I can't remember exactly the details of it now, but something like they want 400 million for the land and we only want to pay 50 million for the land or some shit like that. And so basically it's just not going to happen, mate. You know what I mean? That's the last I've heard on it anyway. And really, we don't even need to focus on that right now. We just need to focus on getting the team where it needs to be. But there you go. Why shouldn't we have high expectations when we buy him for 80 million? Well, we should long-term, definitely. But this season coming in, remember it's his first season in the Prem. Look, we want him to be a good player. What's the point of spending that money and playing him if he's not going to be ready to score the goals for us? Surely he's got to be ready for us now. So he has to perform, but I just don't think we should ask for too much in the first season. Will he start against Arsenal? Well, I'd like to think so, mate, if we can get this deal done reasonably quick. Almost fuming. Ground share with City. We'll get a new stadium on Temu. How many Lego bricks would it take to build a stadium? Not at the minute. Yeah. Sesko will be a Geordie interpreter. You think Gyökeres will flop? Wouldn't that be the best thing ever, lad? Last time he was over in England, he was a nobody, mate. So Watkins, 60 million versus Sesko, 65 million. Thing is, Sesko's not 65 million, though, is he? He's significantly more. I mean, United have actually bid. Look at the bids here. You know, it's 74 million pounds, 73.9 million pounds altogether is the amount of money that is actually being tabled there by Man United to Leipzig. So that is, you know, it's a lot of money, mate. In terms of euros, it's 75 plus 10, 85 million euros. So that is significantly more than Watkins. But if they're asking for 60 for Watkins, then he does not represent good value at all. Man United is like looking at a Ferrari but drives like a Fiesta, essentially not too far off. You think he will get 17 because he's got better wingers around him compared to what he had. True, and if, you know, we should be an aggressive attacking side this season, at least that's how I hope. If you look at how United have been playing in pre-season, we have been a little bit better. Okay, the last game wasn't great, but the overall, if you think about, like, we still should have won the last game, by the way, against Everton. It was just a couple of freak gash goals that we conceded. Poor defending, poor individual moments that's cost us there more than anything. We still should have won that game. But we have been a bit more aggressive. We have looked a little bit better. We have created some good chances. So if we can do that for the new striker, Sesko, he'll be just fine. But the team needs to play well behind him, yeah. J United, you Don. He says, if Sesko joins, it's a new climate, new languages. He's not fluent yet, but learning, new league, completely different competitive opposition, at least 6 months to a year. So true. Think about the standard as well. The standard is much higher. It's just higher overall. There's still great teams in the Bundesliga. Yes, you got your Bayerns and all that sort of stuff. But actually, overall, the competition is nowhere near the level that it is in the Prem. So week to week, you're going to play in harder teams, better defences, quicker, more physical, Would Sesko understand the phrase "why I man" if he joined Newcastle? Oh man, maybe it would turn out to be like that. Do you remember that Paul Whitehouse sketch back in the day on Harry Enfield or whatever, where he was like, what was his name, Bruno Di Giordi or something? I can't remember. They signed him Italian footballer at Newcastle, and he's like, bellissimo, speaking Italian. And then week by week, he's just learning extra bits. He's like, oh, I went off me arse like, stuff like that. What do you think of Bruno Connor's teammates lazy? I loved it, Russell. I fucking loved it, mate. This guy, and also getting new players, and this is what we need. Yes, mate. It is a lot of money for a rookie. That's a great way of looking at it, really. He is a rookie. He could be a great rookie or he could be a bad rookie. That's a good shout. You don't know. There's no guarantees. How can they pay that for 13 goals in an easier league? It's potential, Mags. The price is based on potential. I mean, Newcastle are willing to pay 90, mate, remember? So it's not just us that are interested in him. He's obviously a very good player that a lot of teams have earmarked. We talked about the top 5 leagues in Europe and him scoring the most goals in those top 5 leagues for any player under 23 in the last 2 seasons. Oh, Neil Duffin, if we could only go and get Donnarumma, eh, pal? Now that would make the summer. That would be the signing of the summer by any team. That's who we need. That would change everything. Have we secretly employed Steve Bruce back and put him in the boardroom? 75 million, 65 million pounds. Don't worry about add-ons, pig. Well, we do have to keep taking into considerations the add-ons, though, Hamill lad, don't we? Because it's the overall fee. I mean, we don't know how obtainable these add-ons will be, but we're talking about the overall figure. English is taught in Slovenia. Pretty sure Sesko will be fine. We beat Hong Kong. I mean, Braymo feeding Sesko through on goal does sound nice. Works out as £70 million. That's not bad, especially when you factor in his age. Yeah, okay, but also we don't know if that's going to be the price yet, bro. So think about this. Newcastle have submitted more. Now, the structure of the deal is obviously going to come into it as well, and maybe there's some sort of understanding. Perhaps we will loan out Hojlund or sell them a player, so they might be more likely to want to do a bit of deal or business with us over Newcastle. So it's not all just about the overall cash figure value of the deal. It's also about some other things. But, at the moment, we might have to end up paying a little bit more. RB Leipzig haven't accepted either of those deals, so they might not accept Man United's offer. They might ask for more, in which case we'd then go somewhere else. Who knows? We maybe say, oh, you what? You want more than 74 million for Sesko? Do one. And we might go and sign Visser. Like, it's not done yet, guys. You know what I mean? Obviously, it depends on what RB Leipzig are going to do. What I would think the situation is that we've got a very good understanding with Leipzig and also the player that if we do bid, they're going to be open to accepting it. That's what I think. We've been given a green light. So, for the player's point of view, surely now, because we've bid, we will wait for him and his decision. Because we bid, that means he wants to come and join us. And also, RB Leipzig, now we've actually bid, surely they wouldn't have... surely they've given us essentially a green light that we'd be interested in doing a deal as well. Precisely, Neil. Can't understand why we're complaining about the fee. We bought Slabby. Slabby for 80 million was insane. Hojlund for 73. Sancho for 70 odd, whatever it was. Anthony, 85. You're not wrong. There's some crazy transfers we've paid. At least if this player's going to be good. United paid like 19 at the time for Van Nistelrooy from a Farmers League. True, but Van Nistelrooy did have a lot of hype about him, more so than Sesko, I'd say. But he still, compared to Premier League proven striker, was a relative unknown compared to, if you went and got Shearer. So you're not wrong, mate. You're absolutely right, lad. Since Ferguson left, we did not have a good goal poacher. I believe Sesko will do this time around. Oh, I hope so, bro. We're paying a massive fee on the recommendation of Vival. We've got to trust he's correct, or he'll be collecting his P45. True. And the pressure it will bring on Amorim will be large as well, because surely Amorim's obviously highlighted this guy as the person that he wants to go and get as his striker. Otherwise, we wouldn't be taking £74 million offers. So rather than maybe strengthen 2 positions in the team with a striker and a midfielder or a striker and a goalkeeper, we are going to spend big money on a young player that could flop. So if he does flop, that's massive pressure on Amorim, and it doesn't look good. It's more Ten Hag guff, isn't it? We should have attached Rasmus to the deal. Well, we actually might, Shola. It might just be a case of after this, or once this is going ahead, then we'll allow them to have Hojlund either on a loan or as a permanent transfer. It's possible. They can give us some cash back. New 2 striker, Newcastle, Jackson. Yes, mate, that'd be great if they went and got Jackson. I'd love that. Does it not depend on what the player wants to do? If he doesn't want Newcastle, they can bid what they want. Exactly, Bradley. Exactly. Precisely. I mean, the club can obviously encourage him, to do the right thing maybe and go for the most money so they can get the most money from the sale. But it is down on what the player wants, of course. From 15th to Champions League places would be amazing, Paul. Yeah, but they still might not accept Man United's offer, though. Adieri Hayek should go to Liverpool, accepted to go to Newcastle now, and Benjamin Sesko accepted to go to Newcastle United now, Ray. Well, Isaac to Liverpool is likely, but they are wanting 150 million. Will Liverpool pay that? Probably not. They're going to have to come down a bit in their value, and to be fair, 120 million is a great offer. Didn't they say we'd only bid if Sesko chose us? Yes, they did, Em. Well, that's what the reports were saying. You know, people like Fab was essentially saying stuff like that. Yeah, that the expectation is, you know, look, Manchester United confirmed, this is previously yesterday, last night at 10 o'clock, Man United confirmed again to RB Leipzig that they will bid if Sesko picks them. So now we've bid, surely that means Sesko's picked us. That's what these journos have been saying anyway. Nice, guys. We've hit 229 likes on the stream. Thank you, everyone who's hit the like button. We're going to read a few more comments out, but before I do, I'll just ask you one more time there to smash that like button on this stream. It helps the channel out. Also, get yourself subscribed down below. Click the red subscribe button and get involved here. We're on here for the latest United news daily in a no bullshit way. So get yourself involved and hang out with the community of legends. Click the bell icon as well. Nice. Let's read a bunch more out. You know what Fergie would do? He would definitely buy Donnarumma. Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, but Fergie would have actually been able to buy Donnarumma. That's the difference. But yeah, it's so true. That's exactly who we would have gotten. Amorim wanted Watkins. Sesko's a club choice. Perhaps simple life. I mean, you're not in Amorim's brain, but perhaps because Sesko does make long-term financial sense, whereas Watkins does not make long-term financial sense. Watkins makes short-term football sense, you know, but he doesn't make long-term financial sense. If Sesko comes United still at 8th, 15th by Xmas, Amorim's history, yeah, probably. I'll burn the deal. Rasmus doesn't want to go. It's Vival driven. Ruben and Wilcox wanted Watkins. Well, I mean, interesting, David Dewsnip. Again, we don't truly know. We don't truly know what's gone on there. I mean, ultimately, he may have many options as a striker. From what Amorim said in press conferences in recent weeks, he said that he wants to focus on Premier League proven players, essentially. You know, so maybe you're right. But also, like we've said, there are financial reasons as to why or why not you should sign a player, and Watkins is a completely depreciating asset who's worth 0 in 4 years' time, whereas Sesko's only 26, then it'll probably be worth more. So they have to factor that in, I suppose. Yeah, fair enough, Tim Kelly. 4 lands, 2 goals. Well, fair play now. Amorim bought Dorgu, Diego Leon, Kone, Heaven for next to nothing, so the balance is looking good. Very smart indeed. Yeah. Good shout. We have signed some good players under Amorim so far. Dorgu looks a real find. There's no point buying good outfielders if we have Onana and goal and doing all their goals and hard work. Well, we can still be better as a team, but largely I agree. We still need a solid base and to replace that problem area for us. I don't really have much faith in Ugarte, you know, Francisco. Vincent Bullock says PayPal. Thank you, Vincent, for sending a PayPal here. Let's have a little look what he says. Thank you for the £1 PayPal, you legend. He says Sesko. Wait a second. He said Sesko join Newcastle. He'll be saying, I'm very disappointed. This is supposed to be the home of Greg's. And I don't even have no steak bake with Newcastle Brown Ale. I'm very disappointed. I should have gone to Manchester United. I tell you one thing. I'm bloody sick of hearing AC/DC. Oh, Vincent, you're off your head, mate. You are truly off your head. Thank you for the £1 PayPal, you legend. That was beautiful. You are off your head, Vincent. I love it. If this deal gets done, a new midfield and a new goalkeeper's a must. Fergie turned unknowns into legends. That's the difference, isn't it? You guys got Zlatan and Cavani at 36. What's wrong with Watkins? Well, a little bit different. I mean, Zlatan is a bit more of a player than Watkins, let's be fair. My name is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I'm greatest Swedish striker of all time. When Zlatan was at Manchester United, Zlatan just did what he wanted to do. Zlatan scored many goals from many positions. Do not compare Zlatan Ibrahimovic to Ollie Watkins, please. Zlatan is one of greatest players of all time. Ollie Watkins is one of greatest Aston Villa players of all time. If Zlatan wants to shit in morning, he shits bigger than Aston Villa. You understand? And Zlatan does not need to do this. Zlatan chooses to, because Zlatan is not human. We need a midfield. Despite all ambition from Rasmus to stay, would you still prefer him to go? Yes, if it means we're signing another player. Like, even if we got Vardy for the season, I would be happy with Hojlund going. We need 3 strikers, though. We do need 3. We don't need 2. We need 3. So if we're not going to sign a new one, we should probably keep hold of him. Don't get me wrong, it's a gamble, but I'd be buzzing to see him become a new United legend. It's a gamble. I'd hope that would be the case. You thought Isaac leaving would be subject to Newcastle getting Sesko. Indeed, Faz, I know. Maybe he's not going. It stitches everyone up there, doesn't it? It stitches up Newcastle and stitches up Liverpool. Think I'll hold out instead it said his sign and in a United shirt. Yeah, true. We don't even know. They might even play silly buggers yet with the price tag here. Hope so, Links Red. Hope so. You remember these 2 4-line goals was a bad day for me. Get in there, my son. Rasmus would want to leave. He's not going to get much money. Maybe. Or maybe he'd be prepared to fight for his place. He is young. Hey, you have a great one there, B&G. Thank you so much for getting in here. Better hit the fart sack. Hey, B&G, have a great night. Thank you so much for tuning in and getting involved with the chat. Really appreciate it, mate. Have a good one, you legend. Should have gone for Belabor. That's a great shout as well. What about the midfield? Yes, okay. Well, we do need to address that issue. We're not going to have a lot of money to do so. Tommy, thank you so much for putting a link to all of our socials in there. Check this legend out. He's put my Instagram, my Twitter, my X, and my TikTok in there. Give us a follow in all those places if you can. That's amazing. Thank you, Tommy, lad. If we get Sesko in a midfield like Belabor, yes, that really would. I mean, we'd still need to get a goalie. That would make it maybe 9 or 10 out of 10 if we could. But certainly Sesko, Cunha and Buemo, maybe a 7 out of 10 for me, because you still need to get a midfielder, you still need to get a goalie. Oh, Haroli, yes, mate, how you doing, you legend? Get in, how you going? He says, hey, Piggy, mate, hope you are well. What is this season going to bring us, Melts? Haroli, thank you so much for your super chat. They're great to see you. Haroli's a Spurs fan, by the way. He's still probably buzzing his tits off about the Europa League final. But obviously, Son's leaving, isn't he, now going to LAFC? Lad, that's a big loss for you guys. I'm surprised that he's not sticking around in one of Europe's top leagues, to be fair. But, I guess it's a plum move for him. But now what's going to happen with Spurs? It's a new era, isn't it? Postecoglou's gone. Oh, Big Ange, he's out of it, mate. Big Ange is gone. So they've got Thomas Frank coming in now, obviously, to take the reins. And will he do well? Well, maybe. I mean, you guys finished even lower than us in the league last season. You guys finished 17th, didn't you? And you got, 22 losses in the season. Let me ask this question to the chat, right? Honestly, and I'll give you my answer in a second, and I'm not just answering this because of who I support, but genuinely it's how I feel. Who do you think finishes higher this season out of Man United and Spurs? Who do you think finishes higher this season? Spurs finished 2 below us last season, but won the Europa League final, obviously. New manager, new players, all that sort of stuff. United, new, same manager, but new players. I have to say, I do believe Man United are going to finish higher up. I believe we will finish higher up than Spurs. That's my opinion. I think we'll get top 8. Nothing special of a season, but building back on the road to getting up there. I think we'll get top 8. I think Spurs may finish mid-table. Who knows, though? Depends how they do. I mean, Thomas Frank's obviously a good coach. If they get 1 or 2 players, like we know we talked about Visser to Newcastle as a potential, but what if they got Visser over at Spurs? Some of these players, it's possible. Spurs, United, need Watkins and Sesko with our keeper to keep us in a positive goal difference. Very true, the keeper's a problem. United, Spurs, this season going to bring us emotional roller coaster, lots of piggy rages over Onana and Maguire messing up. Come on, that's a bit negative there, Jay. United. Yeah, goalkeeper Victor John, I know, James, we talked about that earlier, lad, it's gash, isn't it? United, Spurs finishing higher, we've no midfield. Isaac should go to Liverpool, accepted to go to Liverpool, and Benjamin Sesko accepted to go to Newcastle now. Hell no, Adjeri. Sesko's coming to United. Why would he choose Newcastle over Man United? It makes no sense. Spuds, if Sesko goes to Newcastle, we should go for Watkins. Oh, definitely, yeah. 100%. If he does go to Newcastle, I mean, it makes no sense him choosing Newcastle over us, but if he does, we've got to act quickly on someone like Watkins or Visser. Spurs, Amarin's not good enough. Steady on now, Aidan Vickery, lad. They will both do loads better last year. We can't base his performance on last season. He was taken over a shit show mid-season. Let's go, MV Rain. We will finish higher than Spurs all day. Even Snoop Dogg can be higher than us. Rasmus missed 2 pre-seasons injured and struggled, but this pre-season has took part. He does look actually better so far in the last few games. United definitely, probably United. Spuds, 12. Yeah, you only think Spurs has a lot of pressure playing for United. It's a fair one. To be fair, we're both in that position already where we could both have really great seasons, or again, we could still both have really shit seasons. Like, it's just, we're so unknown. Man United and Spurs right now, especially with what's going on, are so unknown. We could both be great again. Like, last season could just be that freak season. Spurs have a lot of injuries last season, and obviously Man United sacked off Ten Hag and got a manager in mid-season who's changed the formation and style totally and had to ship off players. It's not ideal. This season, they could both be much better, but also they could still continue that same dross. It's interesting. Spurs with Thomas Frank will do better, but still think United will finish 6th. Nice one, yeah. The 6th would be, I would take that. I'd snap your hand off for 6th at the moment, yeah. Your heart says United, my head says Spurs, but for Amarin's sake, you better finish above them. Spuds 12th, United 13th. Ryan, get in there, Ryan. Let's hope he chooses us, lad. Seems like, seeing as we've bid, maybe he has. Spurs relegated. Hi, Sesko goes to Newcastle United now. Hell no. Spurs has the better midfield, but we have the better attack. Yep, good shout there, Dilvani. After watching, yeah, we certainly do now with Kunin and Buemo. And now that they've had Son go as well. After watching the Everton game, we need a midfielder. We will draw and lose more games because of that. Totally agree, United Prodigy. We were shit in the midfield, lad. Ugarte's not it, is he? One manager will be very unhappy between us and Newcastle. Yeah, true. If you watched United last season, it would make more sense. This is how I feel, though, if we do lose out on Sesko. I don't care. I don't care, guys, if we lose out on Sesko. Maybe that's a sign that I don't really want him that much anyway. But I don't care if we lose out on Sesko and he goes to Newcastle. It's loads of money. And it's money we know that we've got now that we can spend elsewhere in the squad. Surely we can go get Watkins or Visser instead, and they're probably better for us in the Prem right now anyway, this season anyway. You know? So I'm not even that bothered if we don't get Sesko, but it just means we'll definitely have to go and get one of those other strikers. So we just need a number 9 to score goals. Newcastle beat Liverpool, the Champions League, plus won a trophy. That's why Sesko could join United, almost got relegated. Yeah, but, you know, they've won one shitty trophy in all those years now. Can see us finishing 8th if Sesko comes in and hits the ground running. Why bid 73.9? We ain't selling a house. Oh, sorry, Kevin. That's actually like euros. So the actual bid is 75 million euros plus 10 million euros in add-ons. 85 million euros, which equals 73.9 million pounds. That's my bad. United top 6, Spurs 6 to 8th. We get Donnarumma. Coming United, either get midfielder or Donnarumma. Donnarumma would be the best signing we could possibly make, mate. Sesko goes to Newcastle United. Can you stop saying that, Adyeri, lad? Can you stop saying that, Adyeri? He's not going to Newcastle, mate. Both relegated. Enjoy the championship. Steady on now. Mate, Gary 1992, thank you so much for your super sticker. How have you been, you long time, long schlong don? Gary, thank you so much for your super chat, mate. How's you been, lad? Get in. Sully Griffin's in here, Raw as well. What's going on, lad? You're buzzing about Rio and Gamoa. Looks like a great player, only 16 years of age. Mate, fair play to you, lad. Haven't really seen anything about him. Sesko goes to Newcastle United now. Ray Sully, what's happening anyway? You're mad, piggy. Sesko's essential to future plans. That's the key. Essential to future plans. Is he essential to current plans? I don't think he is essential to current plans this season. Is he? He might be essential to future plans. You get Donnarumma in midfield of the same price as Sesko. I think a lot of people would as well. You'd like to think we can get a European spot this season, so hopefully finish in 7th. Hate saying, but I just can't see us finishing in a UCL place. Rio looks... Yeah, I mean, I don't think UCL even though. Top 7 would be good. Rio looks ready for some first-team minutes, Sully. Loving this debate. Who will finish 16th or 17th? See you later, Elliot. Thank you so much for watching the stream. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, see you on the next one. Liverpool probably... But Watkins as well and spent another 500 million. Oh, Ruben Amorim, the worst manager since Rex Ferguson because he got us in 15th in the league. Not really, James. It's not really his fault, is it? He took over mid-season. Oh, shit, Gary. Sorry, it's you. Gary, mate, I haven't played the guitar yet, mate. No, I haven't. I sent you a message on Twitter. Gary, it's you. Sorry, mate. There's so many Garys going on. Gary sent me a guitar, mate. Can we just get some fucking love hearts in there? In fact, let me go and grab it, Gary. I've got to show it off, mate. You're a fucking hero. Gary sent me a guitar, guys. Gary sent me a guitar. You know, I smashed up my guitar towards the end of last season. This guy, mate, Gary, he's only gone and sent me a fucking guitar. Let's get some love in there, bro.